Welcome back, guys, to Trails from Zero, where last episode, after finishing off Central Square and Station Street, we headed to St. Ursula's, where we met with Dr. Largo for our second support request of the day, rare herb retrieval, leading us to go to the cathedral to obtain some lupinous grass from the Archbishop. After finishing talking to the people at the hospital, we moved over to Bellguard Gate, where we continue onwards with a little reading break. Well, looks like my break is already over. Time to get back to it. When I think of Warrant Officer Miliel as my boss instead of the commander, work becomes a lot more bearable. Alright, I just finished this book while I was on break. Why don't you guys take it with you? Already? We haven't read chapter 4 yet. Now that I've worked under the TGF commander for a while now, I know without a doubt that having a boss like him is the absolute worst. Well, we got a book. We got two chapters. I'm back, Ali Dr. Glenn. So I should probably read one, right? I'll leave the other one for a bedtime story, rather than this list one for a bedtime story, finally. So, let us read Chapter 4 of Back Ali Dr. Glenn. Crystallization. On closer inspection, the crystal resembled a carving of a human hand down to the finest detail, like an exquisite work of art. But a sculptor talented and experienced enough to craft something so precisely lifelike had yet to be born. The reason was because this dazzling Esmeralda crystal truly was once Hugo's hand. The effects would manifest quickly, transforming the body beginning from the tips of one's fingers or toes. The process did not result in any pain, but the parts of the body affected would remain lifelessly frozen in place. If left untreated, it would continue to spread up the limb, and after about a month, it would reach the heart, resulting in death. This disease was known as crystallization. Its cause was unknown, and the only treatment that could save the victim from a cruel death was amputating the crystallized parts of the body before it spread. Hugo could survive, but at a bleak cost for an aspiring violinist like himself. Glenn stood transfixed, staring at the boy's hand. Memories surged through his mind like flashes of lightning. When he was still a respectable doctor, he had tried to take on this very disease. But all it had brought him was, "Let go of me already, you big idiot!" The boy's outburst snapped Glenn back to his senses. Wriggling back and forth wildly, Hugo finally managed to wrench himself free of the doctor's mighty arm. He then launched into a verbal assault on Glenn, frustrated that this stranger had seen the state of his hand. The doctor waited patiently for Hugo to finish. Finally overcome with emotion, the young boy broke down in tears. "Damn it, what did you do that for?" he cried as Sherry comforted him. It took a while to settle him down, but eventually he crawled back into his bed, pouting. Glenn and Sherry left the boy and stepped outside the room. For a while, the two of them stood in silence. It was Glenn who spoke first. "The brass crystallization is at an early stage. If he's operated on immediately, his life will be saved. Any surgeon in this hospital can do the amputation." He paused. "What do you want from me?" The quiet tone of Glenn's voice was a far cry from his earlier forcefulness. It was clear all this spirit had evaporated upon seeing the boy's condition. "Hugo's dream is to become a professional violinist," Sherry began. "And he has more than enough talent to make it come true. For him, that dream is equal to his life. Dr. Glenn, I want you to cure his crystallization without sacrificing his hands." Sherry looked up at the doctor with pleading eyes. "I want you to make the impossible possible." "Doctors aren't gods," Glenn said, casting his gaze downward. Hearing his response, Sherry felt what little hope she had evaporate. She tried to find something to say to change Glenn's mind, but no words came to her. In turn, he said nothing more himself. It was neither Glenn nor Sherry that broke the pained silence between them. So we have Chapter 5 waiting shortly? It's called Rufus. We'll find out what that is later on. Having a boss like him is the absolute worst, the CGF boss. Don't know if I've already read that second dialogue or not. "Randy, you really shouldn't be loitering around Bellguard Gate for too long, you know?" What's your deal? You worrying about me as a special occasion? Oh, that reminds me. I've heard from more than one source that you begged and begged the brass not to fire me way back when. Wait, could it be... Are you in love? Don't be ridiculous. I just didn't want to lose a valuable soldier over some silly reason like that. Silly reason? Do you mean Randy's trouble with the women here? Randy's the only person I can think of who'd get kicked out for being too much of a womanizer. Trouble with women? Come on, Muriel, it's nothing to be shy about, is it? You were a little in love with the Orlando, right? I'm sure if you admit it, you'd feel better. As usual, talking to you gets us nowhere. I admit it, I was strongly against Randy's discharge. However, it definitely wasn't due to having romantic feelings for him. Just thinking about it logically, I thought... To sum it up, you knew you'd be lonely without me around, right? In as platonic of a way as you'd like to attest. Think whatever you want, Randy. Think whatever you want. Is he... Nope. Nope, still not doing any job here then. 0 presents. Cliffhangers on the story? What if I read you in the next chapter? It would be cliffhangers. Every chapter of that is designed to be a cliffhanger. What do you want from me? Two years ago, both of Grellia Fortress's railway guns were pointed right at us. It was definitely touch and go for a while. The possibility of a major conflict had us on high alert. Thanks to the non-aggression pact, the gate has been relatively peaceful, but I'll never forget the fear I felt that day. The signing of the non-aggression pact 2 years ago finally relieved tensions across Crossbell. I applaud Queen Alicia for leading the charge for its establishment. Can't have chapter 5 now, unless I find chapter 6, then you can have chapter 5. That's how this works. But it's very weird to find 2 chapters back to back. You know what the weirdest thing is looking at this now? Of what we've seen here? I could have found chapter 5. Depending on which way I went, I could have found chapter 5 before I found chapter 4. That would have really cracked me up. That would have really not been good. Not even about our, like, you know, recipe order being out of order. Do you know what I mean? Having them messed up the other way around would have left me in a panic throughout most of this. Until I found the other bit. Right, why am I passing through this highway? Well, I'm just wondering if there's anything outside the gateway. I think that's a fair question. I'll just shoot at the police gateway towards the prison. That's always a good idea to get yourself jailed, you know? Doesn't seem like there's anyone around here. I'm assuming, generally, when people appear around these areas, it's via bus stops. It would have not been funny to get one chapter ahead of the other. It would only be funny to the sadists out there. Are you a sadist? Phew, I'm glad the weather is nice today. Now I can proceed with my little expedition. Alright, time to pack up my camera and photo course and head out somewhere. Alright, let's continue on with West Street. And then to East Street we go. Some men have been visiting the apartments since this morning. They marched up to the 3rd floor residence in complete silence. They had an air of importance. I wonder what they're here for. They looked like they were all business. I don't think they came here to have a leisurely chat. I can't help but wonder who they are. And I'm all done cleaning. I'll reward myself with a bit of tea. My wife is always off indulging herself in her hobbies, so it ends up falling to me to take care of things around here. My God, this couple. Also, finish off the glass of wine you've got there, for goodness sake, before you have tea. I like the way that that wine bottle is rendered so you can see the cork. It's kind of a weird twisted design, isn't it? Some guests came to visit the 3rd floor tenant this morning. It was strange though, they gave off this air of importance and wouldn't even let me near the room. Kind of got the feeling they might have been with the police department. You know, I always did think the 3rd floor tenant was always a teensy bit suspicious. She's hardly ever home and I still haven't had the chance to meet her. Ah, are you the ones Dudley mentioned? Leave immediately, you're getting in the way of our guard duty. What? This is Ilya Pladier's penthouse. We of the 1st Division have been entrusted with the task of guarding her. Damn, those 1st Division guys move quickly. They certainly live up to their reputation. Judging by the contents of the letter, I say it's a good possibility that she'll be targeted while she's up on stage. That being said, we can't ignore that other opportunities may exist. She'll be under our constant surveillance. Go away. What did I just do? I'm going in. Wasn't able to find any wiretaps. I believe that the coast is clear for the time being. Must be the special support section. Leave Ilya's protection to the more qualified team. It's your penthouse, is it? Gold taps. Gold bars. Gold this. To be honest, everything's like gold capped here. Color-wise, at least. Don't know actually what metal it's made out of. Both my father and grandfather were famous architects. My grandfather actually designed Crossbell City Hall. You know that thing that's been around for almost 60 years now? Gets me choked up just thinking about it. Guess there won't be any new library books near City Hall when I think about it. One of its regular clients is the company that constructed the IBC building. The foreman and my husband are friends, so he likes to come here often. My husband has to go out for business drinks with his clients a lot, though, so I'm worried for his health. I wish he paid a bit more attention to his health. All that drinking is bound to cause problems. Yes. The Japanese way of life and their business drinking. And then the whole thing that, you know, within the last year where it's like, the government wants you to go out and drink lots to boost the economy. Go out there and become alcoholic. Because, of course, the COVID lockdowns and all that. That was all a bit of a farce, them be saying stuff like that, really. Hey, I'm going to find the perfect spot to play in today. My father chewed me out big time for skipping Sunday school. He got super mad at me when he found out about the geofront thing, too. I feel like I'm constantly being scolded ever since I started hanging out with Ryu. Ryu, you really need to sit and think about what you've done. Hey, I'm going to find the perfect spot. He doesn't care. Little care in the world. I heard some people chatting about Arc-en-Ciel while I went out to shop earlier. Ilya's great, sure, but personally I think I still prefer Mariabelle. Mariabelle works for the IBC, and she's just the absolute classiest lady in all of Crossbell. She is seriously so cool. Mariabelle's the IBC CEO's only child. Not only is she one of the youngest, most gifted business leaders in the state, she's got looks of a top model to boot. You don't stand there anymore, little girl. I'm just going to say that because your hair actually is not far off the colour of the stove. So I didn't notice you when I first walked in. Not just because you changed position. Sorting purchasing slips, arranging transportation, balancing accounts. Sheesh, I've got a ton of work to do. I'm going to grit my teeth and bear it, though. This is all for the sake of being able to take some time off during the anniversary festival. I'm a Crossbell too. I want to relax and enjoy the anniversary festival. I want to take care of all of my business while I've still got time. Getting his work done. Surely he'll let Randy, right? Just realised I've been wandering around with Randy. I could go to the, you know, the SSS and sleep there. Lloyd, dear. Yes, what is it, Auntie Late? You seem like you've matured a bit. Something about you seems more sharp. He reminds me a little of Guy. Ah, really? Probably because I've caught up to him in age. Nah, dude, it's because you officially grew into a man last night. I believe this is what they call climbing the stairs of adulthood. I told you guys, you've got it all wrong. You seem like he matured a bit, Lloyd. Something about you seems more sharp. Reminds me a little of Guy. He's an adult now. He talked to a girl. Alone. That's all it takes. The IBC has invested a fortune into the Epstein Foundation's Orbital Network project. I've heard this Orbital Network will be able to connect every single IBC branch across the Muria with each other. That's the IBC for you. The scale of this project is insane. I imagine the Orbital Network project requires an extraordinary amount of mirror. To already be setting their eyes on the future like this, the IBC really is in a whole other league. Well, no one told Cecile what had happened, though. They all kept quiet there. Randy still wants them to believe. Did you guys know that Arc-en-Ciel is a new production they're rolling out next month? I'm not usually into that kind of thing, but the customers have been chattering about it non-stop. Oh, here's an idea. You want to go with me, Lloyd? I'll snag some tickets. Lloyd, from another date? Wait, what? Oscar, how'd you manage to get those? One of our regulars gave them to me. You know, the pretty lady who lives in the apartments down the street? She said she wanted to thank me for the extra bread I throw in every now and again. Okay. You don't think he's talking about... I'm certain that he is referring to Ilya. Classic Oscar. Still just as pop culture illiterate as I can remember. I know no one like that is pop culture illiterate. She's this pretty gal that lives in the apartments down the street. She just buys 6 every morning and buys a whole mountain of bread. I throw in some of my new breads on the house every now and again, so she gave me the tickets as thanks. I'm pop culture illiterate, actually. Nowhere as much as some people. I thought I was until you meet... I was supposed to be checking out the anniversary festival with a friend, but I wonder if she'll actually make it. She talks so much about how she has zero interest in human beings, that it's kind of worrying. I wonder if Tulululu will be back for the festival. I hope she doesn't forget our promise and travel to some far-off country again. Have you considered showing your face in the bakery every once in a while, Dad? I've been holed up in this kitchen all the time lately. Oh, my poor naive girl. The reason I stay back here is obvious. It's because Oscar is a handsome lad. Who needs my ugly mug when we've got a ladies' man? Our female demographic has doubled. Ah, you're such a weirdo, Dad. Business sense weirdo, Dad. Anyway, is the kitchen open yet? I've got to get in there already. I'd be fine with just using it for a short while. Oscar's got a whole lot of talent, and he's a handsome young fella to boot. The bakery's future is secured. Good work. Business sense Dad is rocking the place. There's sight! Does that feel good? You're petting Zite, are you? That's it. You're a cute doggy. Zite, so this is where you've been all day. As popular as ever, eh? That's one big dog you have there. I got it. This must be the pooch that's been the talk of the town lately. He looks as diligent of a watchdog as everyone's been saying, but he's got a bit of an attitude to match that size of his. I tried to call for him a minute ago, but he just stuck up his nose at me and strutted away. Doesn't like not kids, I take it. Main feature. The anniversary festival's on the horizon. Doesn't look like my husband has any intention of running a special promotion, though. So like him to not have a care in the world. It's pretty quiet downstairs, don't you think? The husband of mine better not have dozed off again. It's because your little girl's all about the dog. I bet Crossbell would lose his mind if something bad happened to Ilya Platier. Why did this have to happen right before the anniversary festival? I've heard a little bit about the situation from Mr. Grimwood. No wonder he's so worried. Crossbell would go crazy if something happened. Nice to see you, everyone. I heard that the threat letter case was transferred to the First Division. Yes, that's right. Though I'm surprised you caught wind of it so quickly. Oh, well, I have Detective Dudley to thank for that. He stopped by just a while earlier. Wanted to verify some new intel about Yin and Hayaway's possible ties. Dudley's working on that case. Well, the First Division isn't wasting any time then. Well, it's officially out of our hands now. We'll have to figure out what we can do about this from the sidelines. Arkansas is in danger, huh? A part of me hopes that this is all some elaborate prank, but perhaps that's too optimistic. So, our patrol narrows down. Yet another section done. And when you think about it, there's not all that much left considering we've done everything that's further afield. A few districts. Which you could consider this one to be the most person-heavy. East Street begins. Don't leave me alone, boy. Mummy said you have to take good care of me today. Operation Teach Mailing Manners ended in complete failure. I'm just afraid that we've been spoiling her a little too much. Wasn't expecting her to turn on the waterworks, though. Now I feel awful. Hey, come on, it's my fault, okay? I'll buy you whatever you want today, so cheer up, please. At long last, the anniversary festival will be here next month. I need to work out my shopping budget to make sure I can enjoy it to the fullest. Save some money to spend some money? Is that what we're doing here? Alright, we know our braces aren't in their room. Right, we can't exactly afford anything too expensive, but it's been a while since the three of us all got to spend some time relaxing together. The anniversary festival is just a month away now. I really hope Azzy will finally come and play with me. Azzy better. Or I'll beat him up for you. I used to be a street vendor back in the day, and a pretty darn good one at that. I used to set up shop where Kronk keeps his stall. I let him have the spot when I retired. I was more than happy to pass it down to such a passionate young upstart as him. Kronk. Retiring stall holders usually pass their spots on to the next worthy vendor, such as marketplace tradition. Yeah, but his name... Hello, my name is Kronk. The IBC is home to the largest brokerage firm in all of Zemerlia. They're our business competitors, but in all honesty, we actually have our moments where we must rely on them. My company entrusted a portion of its stocks to them in order to keep a steady market price. The IBC's brokerage firm is my company's largest competitors, but you're saying the same thing. It's good to know. Right then. Well, come on, we've got new products for you today. Why don't you take a little look? Do you actually have new products? No? Good to know. You were disappointing, sir. He lied. Hi there, you interested in my goods? Everybody sure loves offering discounts during the anniversary festival. We're no exception, obviously, so come on over and buy some produce. I managed to save even more mirror than I thought I would today. I can't let it get to my head, though. I'll probably end up blowing it on a bunch of dumb stuff otherwise. I've got to do a better job of saving up my allowance. What are you doing? It's always hard to figure out how much to stock for the anniversary festival. Vegetables are only good when they're fresh, so I gotta make sure I don't overstock them or I'll be left with gross mush. If I don't stock enough, I'll run out too quickly and cause trouble for my customers. It's a constant struggle. I bet it is. It's a constant struggle. Guy we haven't spoken to here is you, right? The IBC's very own CEO, Dieter Croix, has shown expertise in each and every one of the many jobs he's undertaken over the years. He's always had great sense when it comes to business, but he's really become a big shot in the business world lately, and despite all of his successes, no one can really come to hate him. It's probably because he's a virtuous man. Mr. Croix, the CEO of the IBC, has always shown aptitude in any task he undertakes. And despite that, he still remains virtuous. As a result, all of his merchants have come to respect him greatly. All of my boys work at a construction site. That's fine and all, but whenever they're home, it's just non-stop complaining about how hard their jobs are. And yet, I'm the one who has a boatload of chores to deal with, and they still act like they're the only hard workers in the house. Morning, folks. For the time being, I'm going to buy fish from the Fisherman's Guild. They've got a hefty supply and they're plenty fresh. The delayed shipments have been a pain in my butt, but I'll have to make do however I can. Didn't I suggest this? The usual delivery truck got into an accident, so shipments are currently postponed. I'm pretty sure I suggested this. Or at least I said it out loud, which of course the game's not going to be able to process, but still. Right, the shift schedule. So Arios is in Remifera as before. Scott and Wenzel are here. We can see where the others are that we've already seen. I'm sure you guys have heard by now, but Arkansas's newest show is debuting soon, and I cannot wait. I had those tickets in my hot little hand seconds after they went on sale. Opening night can't come soon enough. Whoa, lucky. It sure as hell ain't easy to get such early tickets. Are you also a fan of Ilya's, Michelle? I think Comrade in Arms would be a better description than fan. Can't you see for yourselves? Both she and I have been burdened with such utterly sinful good looks. As a devotee of beauty who pursues it in all of its forms, of course I feel a kinship with my fellow disciple, Ilya Pladier. Is anyone going to say something? You guys know that was a joke, right? Was it? We all know how amazing Ilya is, but I'm expecting great things from that new girl too. You know the one? That poor dear who's looking at a future full of back problems? Yeah. Oh, but more than either of them, I'm looking forward to the smoldering duel between the handsome duo Fyodor and Eugene. That is an accurate description. Have you guys heard about the raids on the Bracer Guild that happened in the Empire about 2 years ago? Wenzel was in the Empire at the time, so he was able to help resolve the conflict. I do remember hearing about the incident. There was quite the uproar. Many of the guild's branches were all but completely destroyed by a series of terrorist attacks carried out by Jaegers. Wow, I can't believe you were involved in solving such a huge case. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised though, seeing the kind of things you've done here. It was nothing, I was just doing my job. The ones who made a real difference were the high-ranking bracers that came to assist the guild. Their brilliant strategic abilities were key to solving things. My role just happened to be a little more publicly visible, that's all. More importantly, Scott, have you been able to see your fiancé lately? No, not at all, unfortunately. There's not much I can do considering how busy we both are. At this rate, we probably won't even be able to plan our wedding for some time. I'm gonna have to find a way to make it up to her. Maybe you will. We're gonna get a bracer wedding going on in the meantime? Possibility. Fisherman's Guild. I probably don't have enough stuff yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe that's enough. I recommend casting your line over on Ursula Road around this time of the year. One of our comrades in Roz actually works at St. Ursula Medical College too. He keeps telling me about how he ditches work to go up the road and catch some fish. There's someone who loves to fish that much at St. Ursula Medical College. Oh, come on, like we haven't met them. Wait, it couldn't be him, could it? I recommend casting your line over on Ursula Road around this time of year. That's where I want to test my mettle. Is it? Sudan examined Lloyd's fishing notebook. Wow, Lloyd, managed to catch yourself some real buttes. Good work, kid. Starting today, you are now a second-class fisher. I got a certificate. Does that mean anything? Received luck as a prize? You received luck as a prize, really? You did it, Lloyd. Congrats. You know, I actually had some struggles becoming a second-class fisher myself. Didn't know how to handle it, so I left to train in the mountains to find my inner angler. Managed to get in touch with Mother Nature, which sharpened my senses. Next thing I know, I catch the elusive pearl glass, and boom, promotion. Elusive indeed. I'm sure you had your fair share of hardships too, which is exactly why this is a momentous occasion. Now that you've managed to make it this far, I'm expecting great things from you, Lloyd. Aha! Try to live up to your expectations, sir. By the way, if I'm currently a second-class fisher, does that mean the next rank is first-class fisher? Right you are, kid. The next rank is indeed first-class fisher. In order to advance to first-class fisher, you must catch at least 16 unique kinds of fish. At long last, you count among the ranks of the high-ranked anglers in the guild. Haha, I'm looking forward to your next feat. Okay, 16 for the next. Got a certificate to go with it. Fishy dishy. Jolly good. Right then. Well, we got one more house to check out on this row before we go into another quest area. While we're on the topic of the IBC, I believe Mr. Croix was good friends with Mayor McDowell's son-in-law. The mayor's son-in-law was a politician a long time ago. Both Mr. Croix and Mayor McDowell have girls around the same age too. I seem to recall hearing the two are as close as sisters. Okay then. Right to my face. Thanks to the IBC, Crossbell boasts the continent's largest international bank. Crossbell's home to many successful merchants, but they can't hold a candle to the IBC's astronomical success. The IBC has always been helmed by especially talented CEOs who've managed to stay the company's course even through rough times. To us, the IBC is one of the many prides of Crossbell. The IBC is the world's largest international bank. It's safe to say that it's one of Crossbell's prides and joys. So everyone that's here. Should we try to make some more food for Mr. Statue Man over here and see if we can actually get a reward that's not a bomb? What's the newest thing we got? Sweet cake. Fresh milk costs like 50. Now, who's best? Ellie. Lloyd and Randy are bad. Pure cut cake. ATS plus 25%. AC accuracy plus 25%. Restores 50% HP. Who do you reckon would be the next best one to do? Bad people probably aren't good to do it. Well, we made some more cat food. How do I make the other? Like, I should wait until I've got something else, right? Homemade egg pudding hasn't got anything done for it yet. Regular. Okay, fresh eggs. Keep going, Ellie. Ellie! Ellie! Deep yellow. Restores 40% HP, ADF plus 25%, evasion plus 25%. How are you messing up so much, Ellie? Tio for this one. Fresh fruit juice. He's mixing it up. You've got the effort quartz on, haven't you? What? Tio! Yeah, I'm confused. What does that quartz do now? Increases chances to cook a supreme dish. What? Doesn't seem it, does it? What? Well, I'm out now. Literally out. Okay, I haven't done satisfying carbonara. That's Ellie too. Stop cooking normal stuff. Well, I don't know what we've got to give you then, Eastern Jizo. Pure cut cake, sure. We should just make some more of this stuff in the future. Because some of them are really insane buffs. That's deep yellow. I have to buy even more ingredients now. That didn't go very well. It's the elusive other fish fish. I just passed the fish market and said fish. Fish! Long shell! Some truck got into an accident near Calvard. It was supposedly holding some smuggled goods. Sounds like it was one of those newer models from the Rhineford Company too. What if it was more than just a simple accident? Oh, Idios, please don't let me get dragged into anything. Supposedly holding... Oh man, he's worried. Right, where's the question here? What's in here? Long Lao, Shan Shan. I read through Mr. Croyce's autobiography front to back. He says in order to start a business, you'll need to effectively calculate the expenses. So what? I don't need to hear any of that. I've already read my grandpa's diary. Business is all about having spirit, or so he claims. Bruce just doesn't get it. I'm positive I've inherited my grandpa's business skills. Sure, I'm positive you have as well. Man, why can't we ever agree on anything? Let's talk to Bold. Well, we could take Shan Shan, just do the quest. Oh, it's you guys. Hey, Wold, do you come here often? Pretty much. Owning some annoying old dude, but the grub's decent. Not to mention the waitress is pretty friggin' sexy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I most definitely do. On that, at least, we can agree. Seriously, guys? Show some decorum for once in your life, Randy. Damn, I'm starved. Morning practice with the boys did a number on me. Should hurry up with the food already. The hell are a bunch of coppers doing here? Well, whatever. Don't get in the way of my eating if you know what's good for you. Got it? Still hungry? Oh yeah, I'm hella hungry, dude. Hurry, hurry, bring me all the food. Wait, what? Was that supposed to be you singing? I didn't even get that. So those guys have come back. I'll give them a swift boot from the restaurant if they try anything funny. I think Wold comes here pretty often. Also sounds like the workers are already used to dealing with him. Oh man, we had some last-second reservations coming today. What am I going to do now? Normally I just make them some nice sashimi, but we're all out of fish. I'd be sad if I just had 5 of them. I don't even need them to be especially high quality either. You need some fish. Okay, not from me. But I'm guessing that's part of what this is.